welcome to Vajiram and Ravi's Places in News. We will be covering the important places from the perspective of exam from this particular week. Starting with some global places that have been in news, the first one being the Senkaku Island. So when we talk about these particular islands which are present in the East China Sea, they have been in news because the Chinese Coast Guard vessels sailed through this particular island, very close to this island, and this has raised tensions between China and Japan because this is a Japan administrated region. Now, this also comes in between where Japan has clearly lodged a formal protest against this particular move. US has gone ahead and reaffirmed the Article 5 of US-Japan Security Treaty because this is where US takes care of Japan's defense. So that means this island falls under US's defense umbrella, and China doing something against it is basically not just China and Japan. It has China on the one side and Japan and US on the other side. Now when talking about the location of this particular island, it is located in East China Sea. If you see in the global map, you will find this just below the four major islands of Japan: Honshu, Hokkaido, Kyushu, Shikoku. Then we have Senkaku Islands, and these lie very close to Chinese mainland as well. They are administered by Japan, but they are claimed by Taiwan and China, and by Taiwan and China they are referred to as Diaoyu Islands as well. Now when we are talking about the location, we also have to understand in terms of geography that these are uninhabited volcanic islands which have 8 main islands. They are surrounded by rich fishing grounds, and the possibility of offshore oil as well as natural gas reserves makes them disputed because this is a territory that China would want to gain. This location has a lot of importance for the reason that it lies very close to East Asian shipping lines, and it is strategic for anti-submarine warfare of this region as well as regional naval logistics. It is known for its natural resources, nationalist sentiments, which make it a major flashpoint in the global geopolitics. Now on this note, we have to understand the significance of this particular place geopolitically. As I said, it is a flashpoint. It is the center point of Japan and China rivalry. US security commitments have increased the global importance of this place, and this could be also the starting point of the crisis which also will affect the whole of the Indo-Pacific. In terms of economic significance, it has a lot of potential in terms of energy deposits, and it is also known for the rich exclusive economic zone fisheries that fall in this area. Now on this note, we will be moving to the next particular place. Apart from this, it is also known for the legal angle, that is unique clause, where it is disputed because of the exclusive economic zone delimitation and also, as I mentioned, the historic claims. It is important for your exam based on Indo-Pacific geopolitics, Quad, freedom of navigation and China's maritime assertiveness. The next particular place here we have is Seychelles. It is in news because it has become the 6th member of Colombo Security Conclave. Now, when we talk about Colombo Security Conclave, we have to understand that this is an organization where members cooperate on security, especially for the Indian Ocean region. Can you tell me in the comment section which were the other 5 members which have been already present there? The second place that we are going to talk about here is Seychelles. It is in news because it has become the 6th member of Colombo Security Conclave, and it is an important move for India as well because it strengthens India-led maritime security cooperation in the Western Indian Ocean region. And the key context that we need to understand here is that China's growing naval presence will be countered, and the regional anti-piracy operations will also be tackled well. Now this has been finalized in New Delhi. Now let us understand more about the location of Seychelles. Seychelles is located in the Western Indian Ocean, as you can see, just above the island of Madagascar, and it is one of the granitic islands which have coral atolls, and they have a large exclusive economic zone present right here. They are also known for the endemic species, and they have huge importance owing to the critical East Africa, Middle East Asia shipping route that goes in through here. It also hosts India supported coastal radar network and also the Assumption Island infrastructure, and it is an important critical island for maritime monitoring in the Western Indian Ocean region. It holds a very significant position for maritime security because it enhances regional coordination, be it for anti-piracy, drug trafficking and surveillance. Strategically, it becomes important because it facilitates India's Sagar vision and directly counters China's Indian Ocean region influence. Then environmental significance, highly vulnerable to the sea level rise as well as coral bleaching because of the pristine environment which is present there, and that is why we need an extensive push on global blue economy agenda. And in terms of diplomacy, it is an ideal case scenario when we talk about India and small island partnership. It strengthens India and its outreach not just in Pacific but also in the Indian Ocean region. On this note, we will be moving to the next topic, that is Botswana. Botswana is in news because during the visit of our President Draupadi Murmu, 8 cheetahs were handed over, and this is when India's count of cheetah went up to 35. I am telling this before the birth of the cubs to Cheetah Mukhi. Now this number went up to 35, and this comes from the country Botswana. Botswana is a landlocked country which is present in Africa, and if you talk about geographical understanding of this physical geography of this region, you will get to see the major part is around Kalahari Desert itself. So it is bordered by countries Namibia, South Africa and Zimbabwe, and it lies entirely in southern Africa. It is predominantly Kalahari Desert, and also Okavango Delta is present, which is a UNESCO World Heritage Site and also an important major wetland ecosystem. It holds a lot of importance because of the wildlife tourism which is present there, and it is also the backbone of the Botswana's economy. Furthermore, it is the regional security actor which is present in southern Africa, and it is known for heavy diamond reserves which are seen in Debswana partnership. So when we talk about Botswana, it is not just a hub of wildlife conservation but potential reserves, and also in terms of deposit it is important. Furthermore, if we talk about the significance, it highlights the conflict that exists between wildlife conservation and human wildlife conflict. We cannot forget how the leader of Botswana threatened to send 20,000 elephants to Germany back in 2000. Furthermore, economic, we get to see tourism versus rural livelihoods debate here. Geopolitically, it is very important because of the Southern African developing community, which is important diplomatically, and for the perspective of your exam, it is important in terms of human wildlife conflict other than sites, because Botswana threatened to withdraw from sites, protected area management and African geography as well. Now on this note, moving to the next particular place, that is Greenland. It has been in news because it has introduced law which limits the foreigner's right to the property. This means that only people and companies which belong to Greenland, the Faroe Island and Denmark, they will be only allowed to buy property in this particular region. If we talk about the location on the global scale, you can see how close it lies to North Pole, and it is covered by ice, but due to climate change, this ice is gradually retreating and the deposits in this particular region become of great importance. That is why we get to see Europe, US and Russia also competing to invest and buy land here. So this is basically a protectionist measure that has been taken. Now if we talk about the location, it is located in the Arctic region. It is basically an autonomous territory of Denmark. In terms of geography, it is the world's largest island. 80% of it is covered and the Greenland ice sheet, and it is the key site for Arctic climate research. It is known for its Arctic sea routes through the Northern Sea route. It is rich in rare earth minerals, which is the main weapon of the current global fight, and the strategic location it has because of US, Russia and China in terms of Arctic competition and exploiting the rare earth deposit and the minerals present there. If I talk about the significance of knowing this place, it is related to directly climate science because the melting and retreat of ice is contributing greatly to the sea level rise, and it will also have impact on Atlantic meridional overturning circulation. Furthermore, it directly affects the geopolitics that I have directly explained here. UPSC angles such as glacial dynamics, Arctic Council and climate tipping points become important here. Now we will be moving towards Indian places which are in news. The first one being Aravalli Range. It is in news because Supreme Court has ordered sustainable mining plan for the entire Aravalli Range, and it has halted all new mining leases as of now. Now this decision comes wherein illegal mining and ecological degradation were flagged as major concerns, and in this context the Supreme Court has directed the government to come up with a management plan for sustainable mining for across the whole region. If we talk about the location, you will find it in northwest of India, very close to Thar Desert. You will find it on the eastern side of Thar Desert. You can see the marking here. It is majorly present as of now in Rajasthan, but if you look at the original extension, you will see that it commences somewhere close to Gujarat, Rajasthan, Delhi and some parts of Haryana are also touched. So the ridge area that you get to see in Delhi, part of Aravallis itself. As I said, the location Gujarat, Rajasthan, Haryana, Delhi. Geography, one of the oldest fold mountains on earth, and it runs in the southwest to northeast, and it is parallel to the Thar Desert. It acts as a barrier to the desertification that we get to see in the Thar Desert. Influences Delhi NCR's climate because it blocks the dust storms coming from the Thar Desert, facilitates the movement of monsoon winds, and it is a major biodiversity corridor. If we talk about the significance, we get to see environmentally it helps in preventing desert expansion, especially into Indo-Gangetic plains. It is not just home to leopards, nilgai, key forest tracts, but also multiple birds and other species. In terms of governance, key issues like illegal mining, encroachment, which are calling for regulation, also need to be understood. Urbanization issues, especially the belt of Gurgaon, Faridabad, which has seen an urban sprawl, threatens the ecological stability of the region. And important points that you should understand and remember from the context of exam, that it is one of the oldest mountain system, desertification, and how it is critical for environmental governance as well. On this note, moving to the next one, that is Palar River. It has been in news because flash floods were seen in Vellore district, leading to damage and casualties. There has been heavy rainfall, dam release upstream, which caused the river swelling in this particular region. So if we talk about the Palar River, you get to see it. You get to see it very close to Bangalore and Chennai. It is a small basin which has two major tributaries. Can you tell me in the comment section which are two major tributaries of the Palar River? If we talk about the location, it moves from Karnataka, briefly in Andhra Pradesh, then Tamil Nadu, and it drains finally into Bay of Bengal. So that means it is again a east moving river that we get to see. Furthermore, it is a seasonal river, originates in the Nandi Durg hills, and it is a major drinking water source for Chennai region, which makes it very important not just for irrigation, drinking water, and also ground recharge. This basin is prone to droughts and also sudden flash floods which are seen. Now the significance of this particular river, it is important for water management, disaster management, and sand mining has altered the river morphology of this particular region. For the perspective of your exam, it is important to remember the peninsular river system, the east flowing rivers, including Palar, and the flood governance, which is the need of the hour. Now moving to the last place that we are going to cover, that is Kuno National Park. It is in news because the project Cheetah, under which Indian born female, if you remember, that is Cheetah Mukhi, which was the only cub to survive from the first 4 Indian born cubs of Namibian cheetah Siaya, which was brought from Namibia. Now this Cheetah Mukhi has given birth to 5 cubs, and it is being hailed as a landmark time for Project Cheetah in itself. So it adds more to the population of cheetah. If you talk about Kuno National Park, it is located in the Shiopur district of Madhya Pradesh, and it is known for the semi-arid forest ecosystem and also Vindhyan plateau landscape. If you see this particular region, you will find this is the region of Vindhyan plateau, which is known for the landscape which is present there. It is important when we are talking about cheetah reintroduction project because this was the main center, and it was formerly proposed as Asiatic lion relocation site, but later cheetah reintroduction was considered. It is significant for the biodiversity because India's first wild cheetah population was seen here after 70 years. There are multiple conservation challenges that we get to see, such as mortality linked to climate stress, cholera infections and territorial fights among cheetahs, and policy dimension where it has raised question about species introduction versus native species restoration in terms of Asiatic lion. Multiple angles important from a perspective of your exam, such as protected areas, wildlife corridors and cheetah reintroduction policy. Now that was all from my side. Thank you so much.